going to look at the hooks. So previous two videos with the jab and the cross, these are the punches coming down in a straight line. The hooks, they come round the edges. So you think my guard's here, jab and cross down the middle, the hooks are coming round the side of my guard. And I bet there's hundreds of different ways the hooks have been taught. This is the way I was taught myself. So you're in your guard position, and it's all about really using your hips, just like I said in the cross video. You've got to pivot your hips in for the hook, the lead hook anyway, for the lead hand hook. It's all about this this front hip. You've got to get that hip in so it turns your body, and that's what generates the power. You don't want to be winging it out here first. It's not a Rocky film. You just want to turn the hip in, and as I turn, I just lift my elbow. So try and practice throwing the punch from where your fist is. So I just turn and lift my elbow back in again. I don't want to overcommit. If I go off balance, I'll give you my back. So it's only a short hook here. So practice this. If you need to break it down, think, hit somebody with your shoulder. You see I'm using my hip. Okay, so line here, hit with the shoulder. Hit with the shoulder. Then when I'm ready, I just do the same, but just lift my elbow at least to parallel, maybe even higher if I'm coming down, but at least to parallel, okay? So that's my lead hook, turning in, notice the hip, and then you notice my foot as well. I pivot on my foot to turn it in. Sometimes I don't pivot, but as long as I get the hip in, I'm still getting my body engaged. So there's pivoting or just turning the hip. But both ways I want to use my hip, and that's going to turn my shoulder in. Okay, from the side, and bring your hand up, turn it in, come back. You notice I'm hitting with my arm parallel to the ground. Coming back, okay? So that's the lead hook. You can practice it at different ranges as well. So I've got the close range one, and if I need to hit a medium range or longer range, I don't open out more. All I do is change the angle of my elbow. So close range, medium range, long range. The mechanics is all the same. All I'm doing is changing the angle of my elbow. So that's the lead hook. Rear hook is similar, but now I've got to use the rear. I've got to pivot on the rear foot, turn my hip in, turn my hip in from the rear side. So similar to the cross, the body mechanics is the same, but I just lift the elbow up. Again, I can change the range by opening up the angle of my elbow. Otherwise, I'm just pulling it in. Again, I'm not swinging wild. I'm not going here in case I miss, put myself off balance. So the hook's really all about using your hips to generate the power. Right hook, left hook, right hook. Okay, so they're the basic hooks.